Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen, and I am excited to have another fabulous author with me today from the book collaboration that we've done together called The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me and for including me in the book.
Absolutely. I'm excited to jump in, start talking about your chapter title and you. But first, more than anything, I want to share with everybody that Michelle Weihman is a nurse entrepreneur. And during this time, you have been crazed and working way more than you probably should be. So
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I know. And I'm so thankful for you. And I'm so thankful for nurses. I've shared with you that my youngest wants to be a nurse, which is
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah, for
She's a
sure.
junior in high school, so I'm very, very familiar with how amazing it is and everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Let's go ahead and jump right in. And I love to ask all the authors first, what does the phrase "the successful woman's mindset" mean to you?
I think that what for me, the successful woman's mindset is all women have the potential to be successful. Growing up in the Midwest like I did, and anywhere, but in the Midwest also especially, you're kind of taught not to. You're taught to help your man become successful. You're not taught to become successful yourself. And it's books like what you've written, your first book, and then this one as well, that just teach women that it's okay to be successful. It's okay to have the mindset of I can be successful alongside my husband, not instead of, or not instead of just teaching him to be successful.
I really love that you shared that. I have to tell you, what's been really fun for me is having 20 other authors aside from myself and asking this question. I get
Mhm.
similar, but such different answers. And I love that you're the only one that brought this answer because it is true, especially maybe in our generation, Michelle. Maybe today
Yes.
it's a little bit different, but we'll talk about our generation. We're in the same generation that we grew up really in a sense of get married, have children, be a
Mhm.
good wife. And of course, today it's a little bit different, but I think it's such an important piece because a lot of women that are choosing to be successful, find their dream, do what they love, have to almost break through this little bit of a mold of society. Wouldn't you
Yes.
agree?
Absolutely. It's something. I mean, I was, I raised three kids before I became a nurse.
Yeah.
I had to start from, that spot, and then every step of the way was, if I wanted to do something extra to better myself, it was take care of the kids, get the kids in bed, make sure all the housework's done, and then I can work on my stuff.
And by then, who the heck has the energy?
Right. Exactly.
How can I ask, how old were you when you went back to school to start your nursing education?
I started nursing school at 24, but at that point I already had three kids.
Right. You didn't
Uh,
really. When was really the time you went and you finished it up?
no, that's when I went to nursing school, was
But you
at
didn't
24.
practice, right?
But I'm sorry.
You weren't actually practicing then?
No, not yet. No.
That's what I mean. So when
Yeah.
did you finally put you in front of everything else?
Um, Gosh, I don't even know how to answer that because that's a difficult question. Like I went to nursing school, but again, I had all three kids. When I finished nursing school and I was working as a nurse, I was never allowed to put myself, I worked night shift
Yeah.
at first so
Yeah.
that I could get home, get the kids to school and not disturb my husband and his business and his job.
Yes. So
So by
really,
the time I really started and then the more I worked on me, the harder my relationship got.
of
And
course.
so that's just it's a difficult question to say, like, when did I start really working with for me? I went to nursing school at 24 and I became a nurse at, about at 27. And then just from there, but building my career wasn't until I was divorced. And that was a long time after that.
So what do you think? 10 years ago
um
when you started building your career?
Yeah, like you could say that I started building my career while I was married to my first husband.
Mhm.
But it was just very difficult with him. So probably 10 years ago, yeah, it
10 or
would
less.
be, and no, just a little bit more, like 10 or 11 or 12. when I became a charge nurse of this one department that I really loved, and I had to do things outside of work besides just work. And
Yes.
that's when it kind of got dicey. And then I've been married or divorced for 9 years.
Well,
So
the reason I brought that up was because I see it as almost a theme with women.
yeah,
That, and on myself, I went back to school to get my master's when I was 38.
right.
And who does, right? But it's more common today than it used to. And I think that's why I wanted to bring that up, because if anybody's listening, it's never too late. That
It's
was
not.
kind of my goal, is it's never
Yes,
too late. I mean, Michelle is in a loving, amazing relationship. I know her husband, he's a doll, and she's found herself in so many ways. And I think what's really neat about this book is so many of the women in this book have had unorthodox journeys. I mean, that's really the right word.
right.
Unorthodox journeys where they've gone through their challenges, their obstacles, and they're still working to better themselves and continuing. That's why it's not journeys to success, right? It's journeys that you're still getting to success. It's journeys to
Yes.
success, because nobody's done. You aren't
No,
even beginning, woman. I know it's,
no.
I know. I'm so
Yeah,
excited about your path. And a lot of the authors are in very similar paths where they might have their own business or a great profession, and they're still working their way to where they want to go. They're finding that success along, because you're absolutely successful, but you know that there's more that you want to get to.
exactly. There's always more.
I love that. Well, let's jump into the chapter title, Why This Chapter? And I love what you wrote. I had the opportunity, obviously, to read it multiple times. I'm excited for everyone to read this chapter. It's called Know It and Believe It. So let's talk a little bit about that, Michelle.
I just I want women to know, like, I have faith in you. I have whoever you are, I have faith in you, and that there's know that know where you're going, and know I say in the chapter, and I don't want to give too much of the chapter away,
Right.
but I do say, what did you want to be when you were a little girl or a
Yes.
little boy, if a man's reading it? But
Right.
what did you want to be when you were growing up? Because and what stopped you from that? When I was growing up, I always wanted to be a nurse. That's what I wanted, to help people. I wanted to heal people. And I just want people, like, you got to know it, and then just believe in yourself and know that if even if it's difficult, it's possible. And always just taking a step, another step, take another step, keep going forward, and know where you're going. And you know it from what you wanted to be when you were a little kid. If you wanted to be an astronaut, why aren't you an astronaut? And
Mm.
if you wanted to be a cowboy, even if you were a girl, why aren't you a cowboy? What do you need to do to make that happen?
I love that. I have to tell you, in one of my workshops that I hold, I actually have a workbook and everything. It's a 3-hour workshop, how to get out of your own way to accomplishing your goals. And
Exactly.
one of the things I do is I actually say in there in our class, what did you want to be when you were little?
Right.
Because when we're young, there's no fear, there's no obstacles, there's no challenges, there's no second guessing yourself. It's so funny, Michelle, because I ask
Mm.
myself, what did I want to be when I was little?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be a singer.
And you dance. So it's
Yeah, but
close.
I wanted to be so many things, which is not so crazy
Exactly.
considering who I am. So I went through a singer, then I wanted to be an interior designer, then I wanted to be an architect, then I wanted to be a psychologist.
Oh, nice.
So I went through all of these different things. It's really fun because,
Right.
but if you really look at my past, you see how all of that developed into what it is today. I think
Exactly.
the reason we bring this up and why Michelle brought it up is when you look at a simpler time, for many people it was, not everyone, a
Right.
simpler time, it gives you that feeling of I can do anything. That's really what it is that you're talking about.
Yes. And we can do whatever, you just know it, and you have to believe in yourself, and then just keep moving forward, not letting anything stop you, as hard as that can be sometimes. And it's hard. I went to nursing school with 3 kids. If you want to talk about hard, and the oldest one was 7, you
Yeah.
know.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine. I remember when I went back at 38 for my master's, my youngest was 9, and even that was challenging. I had 3 kids
Yeah,
between 9 and 16, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I even, right? How
right.
do I balance all of this? But I think what we want everyone to take away from today, with my finger being a mom, is, right, is you can do it. But
You
let's talk
can.
about 2 things that you said that I think are so important to elaborate on. You said the words, take the first step.
Yes.
Tell
Yeah.
people a little bit by what you mean.
And just take a step forward. Just go, whatever it is that you want to do. You find the path. What is the path to becoming a singer? What is the path to becoming a nurse? What is the path to becoming what you want to go? Sorry. And then you take a step, whatever that step is, whether that step is taking a college course or just one class. You don't have to jump into nursing school. I didn't jump into nursing school. I jumped in, I took a class, and
Yes,
then I
great,
took
great example.
another class
Great example.
until I could get to until I'm okay, now it's nursing school. Now I've got to get into it. But just taking that one step, whatever that step is, if that step, like I said, is, you said you wanted to be a dancer, a singer, then what do you need to do that? What do you need to do to take that one
And
step?
it could be even simpler. It could be just reaching out to a few colleges and finding out
Yeah.
what it takes. If that step is too big for someone listening, take a smaller step. What
Yeah,
would it take
and
for me to go to school? What
what's
would I
what's
need?
amazing now compared to then, was that you can take online courses. You can
Yes,
take
I know,
one
right?
online class, and that's amazing because maybe you're afraid to actually go to school. Oops, I'm losing my hearing. Maybe going to college is too big of a step because there's all those young people, and all those young people, I don't want to be around all those
Not
young people.
today. Today,
Yeah,
there's so many adult options, online options, and
exactly.
evening classes, and so on. But I think the key that we want everyone to walk away with today is make one different decision today. And
Right.
then it becomes a domino effect to your future. It's really truthful, because sometimes the big picture is overwhelming for people, and we get that. So we want you instead make that first step. And then I want to touch for a minute on believing in yourself. I
Yes.
think that's a key factor. Tell people a little bit about how you were able to come to believe in yourself.
Well, part of it is that I had an amazing parents. My dad told me I could become anything I wanted, and
It helps.
I believed him. Yeah, so here I am. But it's also, I love I am statements. And if you don't have that huge family background, then like I do, then do an I am statement. I am a nurse. I am. I am smart. A lot of people have been taught for a long time that they're not smart. I am smart. You have to, and even if you don't believe it, you tell yourself it every day. Tell
Yes.
yourself every day, I am smart. I am able to do this. I am going to be a nurse. I am going to do whatever it is that I choose to do
Yes.
because I believe that I can do it. And if I don't believe that I can do it, nobody else is going to believe I can do it.
Agree. And sometimes it's okay to fake it till you do.
Fake it till you make it,
But I
baby.
love the I am statements. And the part that I want to add to that is you've got to look in the mirror when you're doing it.
Yes.
There's something so powerful when you look in a mirror and you say them. And most women are not capable of doing that
And
because we're not taught to.
if you have your own mirror, like your own bathroom, write it in lipstick on your mirror.
I've actually spoken about that in some other episodes, Michelle, and I'm like, no, I don't want lipstick on my mirror.
It's easy to clean.
I know,
You
but I
know,
think everyone needs to do what's good for them, of course.
yes.
For me, I'm very visual, so I have all over. I'm at my work office, excuse me, my home office right now. My home office and my office all have statements everywhere. If I
Yes.
showed you right now, there's like 10 different things sitting right there on the wall that are quotes, 10 over here, 10 taped to my computer. And I'm someone that wants to consistently see it. So one of the first
Exactly.
ones I see right now is when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. That's
Right.
simple. And I have God puts dreams in our hearts to show us how great we can be. Live in the moment. Of course, a big, huge sign is believe. I've got
Believe.
it right there. But
I've got it
I
tattooed on
love
my
seeing
body.
it. Say that again, Michelle.
I've got it tattooed on my arm.
Do you?
Believe.
Which one? Which word?
Believe.
See?
Just
Okay, well,
believe.
there you go. That's definitely commitment. Go, Michelle. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. The last question I wanted to ask you today was, why don't you share something fun or interesting that maybe people may not know about you or you would like them to know?
Well, I think anybody who really knows me, and not everybody that's on your network knows me, already knows this. I have 4 dogs.
Yes.
And they are and most people say 4 dogs. I say I have my own pack. Yeah, I come with my own pack. Love dogs, have always gone. I used to volunteer at the Humane Society when I was growing up. I work with rescues now. But the fun thing is that I have these 4 little dogs. They took care of me when I was sick,
Hmm.
um, and they barely will leave my side, and they're very upset with me right now. But yeah, I have one that can play dead. I have my dogs. I always say that every dog has a personality, a purpose.
Absolutely. It's just like kids.
So my Lily, she's my caretaker. So while I was not feeling well, she sat on my at my feet, not on my lap, at my feet, so that if I needed anything, she could go get it.
Oh,
Um, Carly is my "What can I do for you, dog?" or "What can you do for me, dog?" She'll sit on my lap as long as I'm petting her. Typical middle child syndrome. And then I have Bruno, my little 3-pound Chihuahua, and Yeti Boy, who's my rescue, and he is my accident baby.
I love it. I love it. And I have 3 and people think I'm nuts. So
Yeah, so
it,
you know
it
how it would be with 4.
it's so much fun. It
Yeah,
really is. And fur babies become as like our children. I think a lot of us women, our kids are getting older
right.
and we're like, okay, we need babies now, which is completely nuts because you would think we need a break. But
No.
why don't you let everybody know how they can connect with you if they want to learn more about you or your chapter?
There's multiple ways. I'm on Facebook, of course.
Perfect.
Michelle Weihman. You can just look me up that way. And then we also, my husband and I have developed a Facebook page called Hummingbird Health to Wealth. Hummingbirds are strong little characters that can go any direction they want. And that's kind of how I do. I kind of go every which way direction. And health to wealth, and your health is your wealth. So Hummingbird Health to Wealth at Facebook. My Instagram is also Hummingbird Health to Wealth. And
Perfect.
on LinkedIn, I have Michelle Wyman.
Perfect, perfect, great way. And thank you for being a part of this book. Thank you for the
Thank you.
chance to interview you. And anybody listening or watching, this is called the Successful Woman's Mindset Podcast. And make sure to go to thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com to grab a copy of the book, The Successful Woman's Mindset 21 Journeys to Success, as well as learn more about Michelle and all of the authors on the website. You can also grab the book online at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, or any other online bookseller as well. We'd love to hear what you think about the book. We'd love to hear what you think about the podcast. And we appreciate you for listening and watching. And thank you so much, and see you next time.